Just devastating, devastating news on the state of retirement in America today. It's just devastating. That Bo Jiden. How dare he? I just had a bug crawling on me. A mosquito. Freaking mosquitoes, they love me because I'm so sweet and tasty. Just devastating. So everything I've been telling you up to this point has been wrong. I apologize. Everything I told you about you can retire has all been wrong. I'm a snake oil salesman. Listen to what the New York Post has to say. Millions of U.S. workers near retirement have zero money saved. Huh. Is that really what it says? Millions of U.S. workers near retirement have zero money saved. There's a play on words here, and it freaking ticks me off. All right, let's read this. Only 1 in 10 low-income workers between the ages of 51 and 64 had any retirement savings. Yet the New York Post would say have zero money saved. Retirement savings and zero money saved aren't synonymous necessarily. You can have money saved without retirement savings, New York Post. Who wrote this? Adriana Diaz, you freaking, you NPC. That's in stark contrast. We're going to read this real quick, the GAO report too, because it's so freaking stupid. That's in stark contrast to the 9 in 10 high-income households that reported some kind of retirement account balance. Okay. That same group enjoyed a surge in their median retirement assets because the stock market did well. And here's Sheldon Whitehouse from Rhode Island. After a lifetime of work, all Americans should be able to retire with dignity. But today, millions of Americans are retiring with no savings. All right, again, we didn't say no savings, no retirement account. And by the way, so you're saying that they have no dignity right now, Sheldon? Is that what you're saying? You're saying those people who don't have a retirement account have no dignity? You racist scumbag. You know why you're saying that? I'll tell you why he's saying you don't have any dignity. You have no dignity. And I'll show you why he's a scumbag for saying this, because it's so mind-bogglingly obvious if you just think this through. All these racial disparities persist because whites are crushing. Apparently everybody else isn't crushing, I guess. Find that white households were more likely to have money set aside and had double the median balance than households of all other races. I shared this with my wife earlier today. I just got chuckled. Well, we'll go in the GAO thing here in just a second. But we got to talk about Teresa Girardelli, the chocolatier, the chocolatier heiress, whatever. She's not, but I don't know how to say her name. I don't care. I call her Girardelli, whatever that chocolate company is. They have good chocolate. Nearly 7 in 10 Americans plan to retire, but only 42% think they can. All right. What is depressing about the GAO is that we're looking at people's right about to retire. Huh? We're looking at people right about to retire, says Teresa. Anytime there's bad news, we talk to Teresa. She'll, oh my goodness, it's all coming apart. They've lived their whole lives, their working careers, under this new system of voluntarily defined contribution plans, a decrease in defined benefit plans, and a decrease in Social Security benefits? What? Teresa, when have we ever had a decrease in Social Security benefits? Why did we go to this new voluntarily system, this new system from 1974? Why did we do that under ERISA? Teresa, you want to take a gander? So I interviewed again my man Andy Biggs from the AEI, American Enterprise Institute. And he knows Teresa. I said, why is she like this? And he said, he just chuckled, all politics. He goes, I know her. She's actually a nice person. But I said, she's misleading people to do. There's no other way around that. You could be nice and still be evil, and she's committing evil atrocities here, even though she might be a nice lady. Why did we go to ERISA to begin with there, Teresa? You want to take a guess? Because the pensions were falling apart. That's why we did. You got to know this. You got to know this. On top of that, do you think the pensions are all that great right now? Just talked to God the other day. He and his wife's pensions can go kaboom. The pension they're on right now. They get, oh boy, there goes a chipmunk. Hopefully Finn didn't see him because Finn would be going nuts. The pensions that they're on is dead. They're about 5 to 6 years gone. ERISA didn't stop that. You ever talk to a freaking airline pilot, Teresa? What happened to their pensions? You freaking clown. PBGC stepped in, didn't give them half of what they're promised. The staggering decline. Let's see these words. And retirement savings among millions of Americans. Let's see what they say. The staggering decline in retirement savings among millions of Americans. Let's click that. And we're going to say, I'd like to see, where's it? So, Adriana, staggering decline among retirement savings leads us to this article. These are the highest and lowest paying majors. What? Oh, don't worry. But then we say millions of Americans. So that took us there. And then we say this, millions of Americans are financially unable to retire. And this is going to be from what? From March, regurgitating the same stuff over and over again. That is our media for you. They regurgitate the same crap. So let's keep going down here. It just is such a... I hate the media. I hate them. Oh, my goodness. All right, so the staggering decline in retirement savings among millions of Americans comes down to two major factors: widening income inequality and a tax system that provides more savings benefits to the rich. That's what Giardelli claims. Because the rich put money into retirement accounts and the poor don't. So the rich benefit from the tax deferrals. But you know what else the rich have to do? They have to pay the taxes later on down the road. Hey, I'm all down. If you don't want to make it all no pre-tax money, let's do it. I'm all okay for that. No pre-tax money. Let's do it. I got no problem with that. Did the GAO claim that the comes down to two major factors: widening income inequality and a tax system that provides more savings to benefits the rich? Interesting. Retirement savings don't come from inheritance. They don't come from gifts. They come mainly from earnings. So when you have an earnings growth gap, you're going to have a retirement asset. And by the way, there was an article that when I linked to this right here, this woman, she just didn't say, they give an example of a woman who adopted 3 children, which is great. That's fantastic. But she didn't save anything. At some point, you got to say, how much you spending there, sister? How much you got coming in? Are you spending more than you got coming in? That's a problem. Maybe we shouldn't get those tattoos. Maybe we shouldn't update our phones. Maybe we shouldn't eat freaking ribeye. You're not entitled in the United States to wake up and have all this stuff given to you. There are some responsibility. It used to be if you don't work, you don't eat. We need to go back to that. The study from the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances show that low-income workers had median earnings of $19,000. What? That's weird because I got a daughter right now who's working at a kennel, whatever they're called, for dogs. She's a low-income worker. She works part-time, probably freaking 500 hours a year, if even that. She's a low-income worker, so we're going to throw her in with somebody else who's making $25,000 at Papa John's. We're going to say, look, the low-income worker is only making $19,000 a year. Well, Chloe's a low-income worker who's 19 years old and just starting out. The other guy at Papa John's might suck to be that guy, but check this out. When the economy, the problem is larger in the United States, is larger than the United States. The UN says, okay, whatever. From records from 1970 to 2018 showed that the median income for high-income American households rose 64%, while the median income for low and middle income saw their earnings increase 43 and 49%. Okay, that's okay. And by the way, the people who are the high income don't necessarily are the high income in the future. There is these things called ebbs and flows. All right, let's keep going. Let's see, wage gap. Wage gap is stupid, it's fake, feminist crap. All right. So let's look at what in America today, 55% of senior citizens are trying to survive on less than $25,000 a year. So let's go back to, if you only have what Sheldon Whitehouse said, and I'm not going to look at that study right now, because that's the Federal Reserve study, but right here. They have no dignity. They should be able to retire with dignity. So basically implying that if you don't have enough savings, you're not retired with dignity. All right, so what does that mean? Does Sheldon Whitehouse not know how Social Security works? It replaces 90% of your wages for the low-income people. So when you factor in a 7.65% right out the gate to FICA and probably another 5% in federal and state tax, you're actually making more money on Social Security there, Sheldon Whitehouse, you clown, than you are working. That's just a fact, because Social Security replaces 90%. All right, we know that there's 3 bend points. The first bend point is 90%, second bend point is 32%, and the third bend point is 15%, which most of us won't get to. So Social Security replaces 90% of basically the first $12,000 of adjusted wage index. Yeah. So if you don't have dignity while you're working at $19,000 a year, then why would you have dignity when you're getting $15,000 a year in Social Security? And then on top of that, you're also going to have to pay FICA and all that. You're basically it's a wash, essentially. So basically you're saying people who are working right now don't have any dignity. You freaking racist clown. Because remember, the whites are the one making out like a bandit. We're just, people just give us money, the white privilege. I just show up, people say, take my money, Josh. So watch this article here, too. I had a chuckle at this. This is the GAO that they're regurgitating. Retirement account disparities has increased by income and persisted by race. Now, check out the guy's name who wrote this. Oh, Chris Nguyen. Chris Nguyen. What's Nguyen? That's a Vietnamese name. Asian, right? So notice the racial, white, black, Hispanic, other. So we're throwing American Indians, we're throwing Asians, we're throwing, I don't know, you name it. We're throwing in there to other. Yeah, guess what happens in the United States? If you're Asian, you actually have more money. You're making more money than whites. Isn't it weird how they want to pick on whites all the time? Look, whites are doing so much better than all the races. So I was talking to my wife about this today. It's kind of like when you throw, so you got blacks are I guess Hispanics are the second largest minority, 100%. But if you take Asians separately, you'll notice that Asians actually make more money than whites. All right, it's all they want, this white privilege crap. White privilege, white privilege, white privilege. They say, hey, but if you take Asians, that includes Indians, by the way, they make more money than whites do. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. And oddly, that Chris Nguyen, who's of Asian descent, obviously Vietnamese, doesn't want to point that out. Why would he not want to point Asians out there? You know why? Because they want to blame whitey stuff. That's what they want. You know what they don't say in here? It's weird. What don't they say? Retirement account disparities have increased by income and persisted by race. They don't say one thing and one thing only, marriage status. Let's check this out. According to Georgia State, right down there in downtown Atlanta, only 29% of blacks are married. All right, let's see what we got for white. Well, I'm not going to do too much diving in. I probably wasted 10 minutes trying to find this information. But anyway, in 2018, 62% of white women were married in the U.S., ages 25 to 54, compared to only 32% for black women. The racial marriage gap has important implications of inequality in the well-being of children and saving your retirement savings account. So why isn't Chris Nguyen talking about marriage as opposed to race? Because we know it's all about pushing the narrative that whites, we just show up and people just lay this red carpet down. I'm sick of hearing that crap. I'm sick of it. We save money. Well, check this out, too. I had a chuckle at this. Watch this. If I can get over here. So let's look at this article right here. I laughed my kahoonies off here. Let me find it. Here's the NPC, Adriana, and she's going to come down here, and we're going to see that the U.S. has been seeing an increasing gender gap between men and women. Oh, look, no whites in here, no white men. Look at that. Isn't that weird? Again, you can't be diverse with a white guy in there. You know, diversity means no whites need to apply, white men in particular. Well, we got a white girl. Can't tell about that, but you can see no white guys need to apply. Isn't that funny? The U.S. has seen an increasing gender gap between men and women in both college enrollment and graduation. About a third of men without a bachelor's degree, or whatever, but check this out. College-level studies are an important tool for women, as research continues to show obstacles many American women face, including the gender pay gap. Hey, if you want to be a lineman out there, ladies, be my guest. Go up there in the trees and put the power lines on during the middle of a thunderstorm. Be my guest, ladies. I highly encourage you to do that. You want to be a firefighter and go out there and log trees up in Aroostook County, Maine? By all means, do it. But you're not gonna. So stop griping about the gender pay gap. Including the gender pay gap, women are getting passed over for promotions. Did you know that? Give me a flipping break. Being taken less seriously at work. Maybe if you didn't gripe so much, we'd take you more seriously, huh? You know there's lots of women out there. I had this lady I'll never forget when I was at USA. Man, I was like, dude, can you just shut the hell up? It was like she just always just griped about everything. She was sat right next to me. She even said, let me tell you about the time I was RAPE. I was like, yeah. Everyone was out to get her. If she was a white man, she would have got promoted, she says. I said, maybe because you're white. And being forced out of workplaces due to child care. 100% child care, due to a child care shortage. Or maybe you should be out of the workplace forced to begin with and raising your children. Crazy. But anyway, women pass over for promotions. My freaking behind, dude. Crazy. Anyway, check this out. So let's see what right here. The top 6 high-paying majors were chemical engineering, computer engineering, computer science, aerospace engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. How many women are doing that? Huh. The lowest paying college majors were childhood education, elementary education, theology and religion, general education, and social services. Maybe because the chemical engineer is actually doing stuff that helps. I'm not saying if you're so. Look, I got a client of mine. I think she's in Nebraska, I think, and she's crushing, doing wonderful, wonderful work for Meals. I think it's Meals on Wheels, not Meals on Wheels, but somewhere she helps people who are down and out. It's great. She's kicking ass and taking names. But she did not go in there to make money. You're not making money being a social worker. She's a social worker is what it is. It's a horrible job. I'm glad she's doing it. But at the end of the day, she's a service. The chemical engineers, the mechanical engineers, the computer science people, they're doing stuff that's different, that's profitable for the country, profitable for business, profitable for you. The service to take care of people isn't a profitable endeavor unless you're a doctor doing what you know what I'm saying. You're pushing various things, then it's profitable. But at the end of the day, even those doctors, even they're pushing some of the bad stuff, they still have to go to school for many, many years. And it takes a long time to recoup those costs. Anyway, the point being is this is just so freaking stupid. The idea that there's 1 in 10 poor people who only have a retirement account. A, that doesn't mean they don't have anything. B, that means they're relying solely on Social Security to pay their bills, which is, well, Social Security is going to basically pay all their income right now. And they factor in the lack of taxes, or hopefully they're putting some money away, they're going to be right where they were with a cost of living adjustment each year. So to say the pensions were the salvation, that's just so freaking stupid. They just want a nationalized health care and a nationalized retirement plan, but they don't want you to have your own money. Yeah, so dumb. All right, love your thoughts. We'll see you.